the irony of this. If you want the money, you got to work hard for it. And I just popped back into the hotel in between looking for a job. Right. You know, it's tough. It's tough. You know, it's tough. You know, really torn between like, you know, it's the understanding of not chasing, attracting, and things coming to you. But things can't come to you if you don't put yourself out there. If you just stay in hermit mode, 4-4. If you just stay in hermit mode, things won't come out. But when you get those intuitive hits to go do this or go do that, you never know where it's going to lead. You don't. But we're never gonna know if we don't pursue it, which is what I'm pursuing right now. My intuition just telling me I don't know what ball I'm trying to get rolling right now, but I'm trying to get a ball rolling. But I feel called to. I guess this is what I'm pulling from. If you want the money, you gotta work hard for it. That's the theme. If we want the money, you gotta work hard for it. If we want the money, we gotta work hard for it. 9 of Cups. Goodness puts out, comes back in return. Happy, satisfied. You know, what's funny about that too is you know, happiness and satisfaction, you know, it's supposed to come from more than just monetary stuff. If you're relying on monetary things to give you satisfaction, to give you happiness, you're gonna fail your whole life. Simple as that. You're gonna fail your whole life. But you know, the funny part is like even when we're unhappy and unsatisfied, that's when it's most important to be going out there doing good and putting good out there in the universe. That's when it's most important. That's when it's most important. Because when you're doing that, you're shifting your mindset off of, you're taking your mindset off of the negative, right? And you're putting that energy into the positive. So yes, you don't ignore the situations that you're in, but you don't fixate on them. You know, 3 o'clock. You don't fixate on them. You do what you feel led to do, but you don't fixate on it. You know, okay, I get intuitive hit. I'm gonna go do this, and then once I do that, it's like, do I get another hit after that? Well, if I get another hit, then I pursue that hit, and I pursue the next one, and the next one, and the next one, until there are no more. And once there's no more, be still and listen, meditate, listen. All right, did I do everything? Am I missing something? Like, but sorry, yeah, 9 of Cups and the 9 of Pentacles. Financial independence, enjoying the fruits of your labor, self-sufficient, life of comfort, leisure, culture. You know, but so many people they want the life of comfort, they want the leisure, they want the culture, but they don't want to put the good out to get the good in return. They just want the return without doing the fucking work, and that's not how it works. 4 o'clock, that's not how it works. You know, you put out even when you feel like you don't have anything left to put out. You put out because you know everything you put out comes back in return. But you don't put out with that intention though. You don't put out like I'm gonna put out this much because I know I'm gonna get this much. You do no. It's a mindset. You get it's intention. Intention is everything. It's intention, and that's why it's so important that everything we do comes out of a place of pure intention. Because when your heart gets weighed on the scales, when your heart gets weighed on scales, it has to be lighter than a feather. And for it to be lighter than a feather, it's everything. It's your thoughts, it's your intentions, it's your actions, it's everything put into account. And one slightest variation is going to throw it all off. One simple variation is going to throw it all off. Eight of Pentacles. Learning, mastering a skill, apprenticeship, craftsmanship, taking pride, making goods. But we should take pride in everything that we do. We should be taking pride in the minuscule tasks. We should be taking pride. Something I've always strived for is if my name is on something, I don't care what it is. It could be changing the fucking toilet paper roll. Which first case, you better be putting the toilet paper on correctly. Mullets are out. Mullets are out. In that sense, but we should be taking pride in everything we do. If I do something, I want people to know, hey, he did it. It was done right. Not, oh, he did it. I'm gonna go have to check the work. Oh, he did it. I'm gonna have to go redo it. Oh, he did it. That's I take pride in my name. I take pride in my word. I take pride in my work. 5-5, because I changed. Because I take pride in my work. I take pride in my craftsmanship, no matter what it is. And I feel like most people they just go through the daily routines with zero effort, with zero care, and then they wonder why nothing's improving. Well, what are you doing to improve it? Are you being stagnant? Are you just being complacent, or are you actually doing something to improve it? Because if you're just being stagnant and you're not if you're not putting any fucking effort in, how are you supposed to get a good return if you're not really putting in a good out? If you're not putting good out there, you're never going to become the star that you're meant to be. You're never going to, because you're hindering yourself for so much. We're supposed to be taking pride in everything. We're supposed to give thanks for everything. We take pride in the little tasks that we do that also carries on to the big tasks we do. It's optimism. The optimism is sticking out to me on that. Optimism. Optimism. A lot of people are just too they're not optimistic enough. They always think the negative. They put too much. So good in return is returned in good, but bad in return, bad put out is also bad returned. When you sit there in those negative mindsets, you get stuck in those negative mindsets. You're manifesting more negative. You're saying to the universe, "I want more." It takes 17 seconds to force a negative thought out of your mind. And when you can learn to control your mind and you can force that, you get the negative thought, okay, you get it, you deal with it, but you handle it, you always find the positive. And sometimes the positive in the situation is just, I'm done with it. I'm done with it. But you also give thanks. You give thanks for the learning experience. You give thanks for the memories. You give thanks for, hey, that sucked. I don't want to do it again, but hey, I learned it. It's a new tool to put in my tool belt to use when I need to use it. But it's that optimism of, it's not what happened to me, it's what happened for me. It's what happened for me. It's what happened for me. Memories of youth. It's everything we've been through. Everything we've been through makes us who we are today. Everything we've been through, for the positive and the lessons and the blessings. Everything we've been through makes us who we are today. Everything. But it's the shift of the mindset it's the optimism that determines what effect it has on us. Do we learn from it? Do we grow from it? Because if we did, then now it's a tool that we can use. But if we didn't learn from it, then it's a chain, it's a bond, it's a bondage that we're stuck on. It's a bondage that we're stuck on that we need to clear our mind from. That we need to reset our mind from. What's keeping you in bondage? What's keeping you enslaved? What can you do to free yourself? Figure that out.